Hello, my name is Stephanie Rash, and I'm from Kansas Works Southeast, and welcome to this Workshop Wednesday. We are happy to be in collaboration with Independence Community College Financial Aid Department to bring you FAFSA and scholarships. As always, if you have questions, there is going to be a live rep in the chat, so please feel free to drop them in there. We will be also asking some questions as we go, so hopefully those will answer some of those along the way. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Laura to talk about our FAFSA.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Laura Allison. I am the Financial Aid Director at Independence Community College, and I've been in financial aid for almost 9 years now. So we deal a lot with the FAFSA. It is the free application for federal student aid. It would be completed by a current or prospective student so that they can determine what they can receive in federal student aid opportunities. It's hosted by the U.S. Department of Education, so it is a federal form. And once you complete the form, it will allow a college or a university to determine what aid you're eligible for, including federal Pell Grants, Teach Grants, federal work study, and direct student loans. In addition to the federal student aid opportunities, a lot of scholarship providers and institutions use the FAFSA to determine your need for their scholarships and their aid. All right, so you know you want to apply for financial aid to help you go to college or get some vocational training at an institution. In order to do that, you'll have to have a valid email address. Generally, a cell phone number is recommended, though not required. And you will need to have access to your social security number because you'll be creating a login. It will identify you by your name, your birthday, and your social security number. It will use that email address as your login as a way to communicate with you about your financial aid opportunities. And whatever email address you put on there, that is what the institution is likely going to contact you with. So make sure it's an email that you have steady access to. When you're filling it out, you will need your federal tax return. And that includes any schedules that may come with it. So whether you filed a Schedule 1 or a Schedule 2, whatever it may be, you'll want to have access to those. And you will want to have access to your W-2s or any other tax form that you may have. So if you have like an unemployment benefits statement, you'd want to have that available to you, W-2s, 1099s, because it's going to ask you about income sources. The FAFSA does use tax information that is 2 years behind the FAFSA year. So we're getting ready to start school in the fall of 23. So you'll be using tax information from 2 years prior, which would be 2021 taxes.
Laura, what if I'm the age of 18 to 23 and work my own job? Whose federal tax filing or income forms do I need?
Right, good question. So until you are 24, married, or have children, those are kind of the big three. Until you reach one of those markers, you would have to generally put in your parents' financial information. So it would likely be the parent you live with the most or get the most support from, whether that's support that they provide in money or support that they are just providing to you as you are out there on your own and working.
What if I have a parent that just got married, but they didn't adopt me? My step-parent didn't. Do I still need to include their income?
Yes, you would. So the FAFSA asks for your parent. Usually that's a biological parent. And if your biological parent that you reside with has remarried, then you are going to include their spouse's information. They would consider that a step-parent, and that step-parent's information should be included on the FAFSA. Even if your step-parent and biological parent did not file taxes together in the tax year that you're asking for, you would basically be adding that income together and putting it into the FAFSA.
What do I do if I've missed the FAFSA deadline?
You really should contact the school or the institution that has set that deadline. A lot of times it's a priority deadline, meaning that you may not get the highest priority when they are handing out financial aid, but it doesn't mean that you would not be able to receive it. So because it's a federal application, there are certain federal entitlements. So definitely reach out to the school you're interested in attending. All right, so once you get the FAFSA submitted, you'll get an automated response from the Department of Education saying, hey, thank you, we're glad we got your FAFSA. You may have some additional steps to do if the FAFSA was incomplete in any way, or if there may have been an error that the Department of Education caught, they would be emailing you directly from the Department of Ed. Whichever schools you selected to receive your FAFSA, and you can choose up to 10, they will get a copy of that FAFSA and then determine what awards you're eligible for, and then they generally would respond to you. Most schools do it by email to the email address that you listed in the FAFSA. Some of them will send you a written letter in the mail to whatever address you have on file with the institution. Hopefully from there, you will have a smooth transition into being able to accept the awards that you want to accept. That may be grants, scholarships, work-study loans. All of that would be in the financial aid package. If you had to provide documentation, that could be happening around that same time that you would have to provide documents necessary for the school to actually disperse the aid. You'll want to make sure that you are enrolled and attending classes. In order to earn federal student aid, you do have to attend the classes that you register in. If you don't begin attendance in them, then you would no longer be entitled for financial aid for the classes that you did not start. Once you have everything accepted, documents are turned in, and they know that you're registered for classes, the college would generally disperse the aid that you're eligible for to your student account to pay for your expenses. And if there's anything left over after your expenses with the college are paid, then that would be refunded to you.
So when the aid disperses, does it automatically do it on its own, or do I have to apply it?
It varies probably on what the aid is and the institution's policy. So for grant aid, like a federal Pell Grant, often an institution will automatically apply that if you're entitled to it, regardless of whether you opt in and accept it. But something like a loan is generally not going to go through unless you take the steps to accept it and complete the documents, because a loan is something you have to repay, and a school generally is not going to do that and obligate you to repay it unless they know that you have accepted it.
What if I have to change my schedule or courses? Does that affect my financial aid?
It may, and it depends. So I generally tell students, if you change your schedule, you change your major, anything to do with a change in your academic status, your next stop from the registrar's office or your advisor would be the financial aid office to determine if there is an effect, and if so, what that is. All right, so there's lots of funding available to help students go to school. We always prioritize the free money, which would be scholarships that are generally based on some kind of merit or perhaps need. Grants like the federal Pell Grant, which are based on financial need. And of course, having Kansas Works there to support you in your goals to reach whatever education or career goals that you have. So free money generally does not have to be paid back, although if they pay it for a particular purpose, you want to make sure that you fulfill that purpose. Next, schools generally try to prioritize self-help aid. So that would be things like stipends, where you're getting a lump sum to pay you for some kind of activity that you're participating in, or maybe some job that you're doing on campus. And then work study would be kind of a more traditional idea of what you have about a job, which is that you apply for a position. It's at the college and sponsored by the college, and then the college uses federal funds to give you a paycheck. And then kind of the last option that we generally advise students to take would be federal student loans. So there's federal direct loans, which would be a loan to the student, which does not require any kind of credit check. Generally, students are entitled to that based on them being a college student. Then there's Parent Plus loans, which your parent may apply for to help you pay for the cost of attending. That would kind of be in the situation where your own personal loans don't meet the cost of attending school. Graduate plus loans for if you are in like a master's or graduate program. And then kind of the last but not least would be private loans that an institution may partner with a particular provider. But private loans are generally have the least beneficial terms for a student. So we generally advise that as kind of a last option.
Can my loans be paid on while I'm in school?
Yes, and we definitely encourage if you want to pay loans early, your loans get assigned to a servicer, which is a company that manages those payments. So your financial aid office can identify who that company is and get you contact information to begin repayment.
What if I don't use the full amount of my loan?
It depends on what you have borrowed it for. So if you're borrowing it to pay the school, if there's anything left over after the school is paid, it gets refunded to you. At that point, you can choose to cancel a part of the loan and give it back to reduce your the amount that you owe. You can pay it directly to the servicer, or you can use it for personal expenses to help you in your educational goals. And we always encourage students to go out and find as many scholarships as they possibly can. Check with local organizations. Look at the institution's website that you're wanting to attend. The Kansas Board of Regents offers Kansas students scholarships to attend a Kansas university or college. And then FastWeb is more of a private, just kind of an open website that kind of is like a search where it will generate scholarship information for you.
So who would be the best contact person for scholarships?
I would say the financial aid office of the school you're wanting to attend. They're going to know what their opportunities are and what they see in the community as opportunities and help you identify and seek out those opportunities and apply for them.
What if any of our viewers have some questions about attending ICC and or scholarships there? Where could they find you at, Laura?
Sure. Our website is probably the best place to go to. It's www.ndcc.edu. From our landing page, you can go to financial aid, and any of those pages will have our contact information. You can also find information about our scholarships and apply for those because we are still accepting applications for fall of 23.
Perfect. Well, we want to thank Laura and NDCCC for attending and helping us put on this presentation. As always, we want to just let you know that you can always visit your local workforce center to talk about that WIOA program for the Kansas Works to see how if you fit in or if we can assist with your educational reaches for programs such as at local ICCs that we help cover and other community colleges. We also encourage you to come in if you do have questions so that we can help you connect with your financial department if you're having a hard time finding them. Our workforce centers are listed below with their numbers. We do have 2 satellite locations right now that operate. Their numbers are listed as well. There is in-person every other day at these locations. And as always, we want you to keep up with our Kansas Works online, whether it be through our website or through our app. You can find your current local job listings and other resources at your fingertips with our job search app, as well as at sekworks.org. That's another landing page of ours. You'll also there find the schedule for our next workshop Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.